Most people imagine lost cities as distant myths buried deep in jungles or deserts. But what if some of the greatest ancient cities were only recently discovered? Hidden in places no one thought to look? Entire civilizations rose, flourished, and vanished, leaving behind cities that remained invisible for centuries. Stay with this story, because what archaeologists are uncovering right now is rewriting human history. And if hidden discoveries excite you, keep watching closely. For a long time, historians believed most major ancient cities were already known. Maps were drawn, timelines were fixed, and textbooks felt complete. But modern technology has shattered that illusion. Satellite imaging, LiDAR scanning, and ground-penetrating radar have revealed cities so vast and complex that their existence alone raises uncomfortable questions. And if this idea already has your curiosity, don't miss what comes next. Deep in the jungles of Cambodia, archaeologists recently uncovered the true scale of Mandaparvata, an ancient city hidden beneath dense forest near Angkor. For centuries, the jungle swallowed roads, reservoirs, and temples, making the city invisible to the naked eye. Using laser scanning from the air, scientists suddenly saw a massive urban network beneath the trees. This was not a small settlement. It was a planned city with infrastructure that rivaled modern designs. If discoveries like this fascinate you, stay with this journey. In Central America, LiDAR technology has exposed thousands of previously unknown Maya structures buried beneath jungle canopies. Entire cities connected by highways, defensive walls, and agricultural systems emerged overnight on researchers' screens. These were not primitive villages, but densely populated urban centers supporting millions of people. The Maya did not disappear mysteriously into the forest. Their cities were simply hidden by time. And as more scans are conducted, the map keeps growing. In the deserts of Egypt, archaeologists recently uncovered the lost golden city near Luxor, once a thriving urban center during the reign of Amenhotep III. For decades, historians searched for royal tombs, never suspecting an entire city lay beneath the sand. Streets, houses, workshops, and everyday objects emerged almost perfectly preserved. It was as if life had paused and never resumed. If ancient life frozen in time intrigues you, keep watching. China has revealed its own hidden giants. Near Xi'an, archaeologists uncovered massive ancient cities buried beneath farmland and modern development. Some date back over 3,000 years and include palaces, ceremonial zones, and defensive walls stretching for kilometers. Many of these cities were deliberately buried or abandoned, their memory erased from written records. Progress above ground kept them hidden below. In the Middle East, the ancient city of Thonis Heraclean was lost beneath the Mediterranean Sea for over 1,000 years. Mentioned in ancient texts but dismissed as legend, it was finally discovered submerged off the coast of Egypt. Temples, statues, ships, and harbors lay perfectly preserved underwater. Earthquakes and rising sea levels swallowed the city whole. What was once considered myth turned out to be historical fact. South America has delivered equally shocking revelations. In the Amazon rainforest, long believed incapable of supporting large civilizations, archaeologists uncovered vast networks of ancient cities using aerial scanning. Roads, plazas, canals, and settlements appeared beneath the forest floor. These societies reshaped the landscape, proving the Amazon was once home to millions. If this challenges what you were taught, stay tuned. In Turkey, the ancient city of Göbekli Tepe forced historians to rethink civilization itself. Built over 11,000 years ago, it predates agriculture, pottery, and written language. Massive stone pillars carved with animals suggest organized labor and spiritual complexity far earlier than expected. Its discovery overturned long-held beliefs about when civilization began. And if one discovery can change everything, imagine how many remain hidden. Even Europe continues to surprise. In Greece, archaeologists uncovered lost cities buried beneath sediment and modern towns. Advanced drainage systems, road networks, and buildings show urban planning far ahead of their time. Some cities were abandoned due to earthquakes or climate shifts, sealed beneath layers of debris until technology revealed them again. What makes these discoveries so powerful is not just their scale, but their timing. Many were found not because someone was searching for them, but because new tools made it impossible to ignore what lay beneath. Satellites don't care about myths. Lasers don't respect old assumptions. They simply reveal what exists. These cities force historians to confront an uncomfortable truth. Much of human history is incomplete. Civilizations didn't always collapse dramatically. Some faded quietly, buried by nature, disaster, or time. Their stories vanish with them, leaving gaps we are only now beginning to fill. And if this realization keeps you watching, you're exactly where you should be. What's even more haunting is how many lost cities remain untouched because modern life sits directly above them. Excavation would mean disrupting millions of lives. So the past stays buried, waiting. Beneath highways, villages, and cities lie forgotten worlds that may never be fully explored. As archaeologists continue their work, one thing is clear. We are living in an age of rediscovery. The greatest archaeological finds are no longer limited to deserts and ruins. They are hidden in jungles, underwater, beneath farms, and even under our feet. And if this first part has changed how you see ancient history, keep watching and stay subscribed, because this journey into lost cities has only just begun, and what comes next is even more astonishing. If you think the cities already uncovered are impressive, what comes next is even more unsettling. Because some of the most shocking discoveries were not found in jungles or deserts, but beneath places people walk on every single day. Stay with this, because the next lost cities prove that history doesn't disappear. It hides. And if you enjoy uncovering what the world forgot, keep watching closely. In India, archaeologists have long suspected that ancient cities described in early texts were not just symbolic stories. Recent excavations along dried riverbeds revealed massive urban settlements buried under layers of soil and modern villages. These cities had grid-based planning, advanced drainage systems, and standardized brickwork dating back over 4,000 years. What makes this discovery extraordinary is that these cities vanished without clear evidence of invasion or destruction. They were simply abandoned, slowly swallowed by time. And if this kind of silent disappearance fascinates you, stay with this journey. In Iraq, beneath the shifting sands of Mesopotamia, archaeologists uncovered entire Sumerian cities that had faded from historical memory. Using satellite imagery, researchers identified thousands of ancient settlements once fed by rivers that no longer exist. These cities were economic and cultural powerhouses, yet many vanished as climate patterns changed and water sources disappeared. Civilization didn't collapse overnight. It quietly moved on, leaving cities behind like forgotten shells. And if you're starting to see a pattern, don't stop now. Across Africa, new discoveries are rewriting what we thought about early urban life. In the Sahara Desert, archaeologists uncovered ancient cities buried beneath sand dunes, proving the region was once green, fertile, and heavily populated. Stone structures, tools, and trade networks revealed civilizations that thrived thousands of years before the desert formed. These societies didn't fail. They adapted, migrated, and left their cities to be reclaimed by nature. If this challenges what you learned in school, keep watching. In Southeast Asia, beyond the famous temples of Angkor, archaeologists discovered vast urban landscapes stretching far beyond what anyone imagined. Roads, water systems, and neighborhoods extended for miles, hidden beneath forest and farmland. These cities supported enormous populations and were engineered to manage floods and droughts. Their decline wasn't caused by war alone, but by environmental stress and overextension. Civilization didn't fall, it unraveled. And if that idea pulls you in, stay with it. Japan has also revealed lost cities beneath modern development. Ancient capitals once thought legendary were found buried under layers of sediment and modern infrastructure. Some were destroyed by earthquakes, others by fires, and many were deliberately rebuilt elsewhere. What remains are ghost cities beneath railways and buildings, preserved only because they were never fully excavated. The past survives not because it was protected, but because it was forgotten. One of the most haunting discoveries comes from underwater archaeology. Along coastlines across the world, ancient cities lie submerged beneath rising seas. Off the coast of India, massive stone structures discovered underwater suggest cities older than previously accepted timelines. Streets, walls, and foundations lie beneath the waves, hinting at civilizations lost to ancient sea level rise. These cities didn't vanish in legend, they drowned. And if submerged history fascinates you, stay close. In Greece, entire Bronze Age cities were found buried under sediment caused by earthquakes and floods. Some were sealed so quickly that homes still contained tools, pottery, and personal belongings. Life stopped and never resumed. These discoveries show how fragile civilization can be when nature decides to reclaim the land. One moment, a city thrives. The next, it disappears beneath the earth. South of Europe, in North Africa, archaeologists uncovered Roman cities buried beneath farmland and modern towns. Some were erased from history after earthquakes or economic collapse. Others were deliberately dismantled and reused, their stones recycled into new buildings. What remained underground became invisible to time. These cities didn't fall dramatically. They were slowly dismantled until memory itself faded. In Central Asia, ancient Silk Road cities were recently rediscovered beneath desert sands. These were once bustling hubs of trade, culture, and knowledge. As trade routes shifted, the cities lost importance and were gradually abandoned. Wind and sand did the rest. Today, only advanced scanning technology reveals their outlines beneath the dunes. Entire worlds erased not by violence, but by irrelevance. What makes these discoveries unsettling is how common this pattern is. Cities don't always collapse with fire and blood. Sometimes they fade quietly as rivers shift, climates change, or trade routes move. People leave, buildings decay. Nature covers what remains. History forgets. And if this quiet disappearance keeps you watching, you're exactly where you should be. Modern archaeology is now racing against time. Urban expansion, agriculture, and climate change threaten to destroy sites before they're even discovered. Many lost cities will never be fully excavated because uncovering them would disrupt modern life. So they remain buried, half known, half forgotten, their stories locked underground. These discoveries force historians to rethink how civilization works. Progress is not a straight line. Advancement does not guarantee survival. Entire societies can disappear without leaving clear written records. And if ancient cities could vanish so completely, what does that say about our own? The most uncomfortable realization is this. Future archaeologists may study our cities the same way. Layers of concrete and steel may one day cover our lives, our systems, our failures. What survives will not be what mattered most to us, but what happened to be preserved by chance. Just like the cities we uncover today. Lost cities remind us that history is fragile. It can be erased, buried, rewritten, or ignored, and yet it never truly disappears. It waits, beneath soil, beneath water, beneath our feet. And if the second part has pulled you deeper into the hidden world beneath modern civilization, keep watching and stay subscribed, because part 3 will reveal even more cities that were never meant to be found, and the discoveries only get stranger from here. If you're still watching, then you're starting to realize something unsettling. Lost cities are not rare accidents scattered across history. They are a repeating pattern. And the deeper archaeologists dig, the clearer it becomes that entire chapters of human civilization have vanished more often than anyone wants to admit. Stay with this, because what comes next reveals cities that were never supposed to be found. And if uncovering forgotten worlds keeps you curious, keep watching closely. In South America, recent discoveries have completely changed how we understand ancient urban life. For centuries, historians believed the Amazon rainforest was too harsh to support large populations. But new archaeological evidence tells a different story. Using LiDAR scans, researchers uncovered massive ancient cities hidden beneath thick vegetation. These cities included wide roads, defensive walls, ceremonial centers, and carefully managed agricultural systems. Millions of people once lived where only jungle was thought to exist. These societies didn't disappear because they were weak. They vanished because disease, climate change, and environmental collapse arrived with devastating speed. And if this revelation surprises you, stay with this journey. In Peru, ancient cities once connected by vast road networks have been rediscovered high in the Andes. Some of these settlements were so well hidden that they remained invisible for centuries. Built into mountainsides, surrounded by terraces and stone walls, these cities were abandoned when political systems collapsed and populations moved elsewhere. Nature slowly reclaimed them. The silence of these places today hides the fact that they were once alive with activity, trade, and culture. And if silent ruins pull you deeper into the story, keep watching. In the Middle East, archaeologists continue to uncover lost cities buried beneath desert sands that were once fertile land. Ancient settlement along forgotten rivers reveal advanced irrigation systems, trade hubs, and administrative centers. Climate shifts turn green regions into deserts, forcing populations to migrate. What remains are cities frozen in time, sealed beneath layers of sand. Civilization didn't fail because of ignorance. It failed because the environment changed faster than societies could adapt. And if that thought feels uncomfortably relevant, don't look away. In Europe, discoveries beneath modern cities continue to reshape history. Beneath busy streets lie ancient Roman, Celtic, and even older settlements. Some were erased by invasion, others by economic collapse. Entire neighborhoods were buried by floods or earthquakes. In many cases, modern cities grew directly above them. These lost cities remain hidden not because they are unknown, but because uncovering them would disrupt life above. History is literally trapped beneath progress. And if that idea stays with you, stay tuned. In Central America, archaeologists have uncovered forgotten cities that existed alongside famous civilizations but never entered written records. These cities were carefully planned, strategically located, and deeply connected to trade networks. Their disappearance left almost no trace in surviving texts. Without modern technology, they would still be invisible. This raises a disturbing question. How many civilizations vanished completely simply because no one wrote their story down? Across Africa, new discoveries challenge the idea that urban life was limited to a few regions. Stone-built cities, trade hubs, and ceremonial centers have been uncovered in areas once dismissed as peripheral. These cities connected continents through trade in gold, salt, and knowledge. When trade routes shifted or political systems collapsed, cities were abandoned and swallowed by the landscape. History did not record their fall. Archaeology had to rediscover them centuries later. And if forgotten empires fascinate you, stay right here. One of the most haunting patterns across all these discoveries is how quickly cities can vanish. Not in thousands of years, but sometimes in decades. Earthquakes flatten urban centers. Floods erase infrastructure. Epidemics empty streets. When people leave, cities die. Without maintenance, buildings crumble. Nature moves in. Memory fades. Within a few generations, entire civilizations can disappear almost completely. And if this realization feels heavy, keep watching. In Asia, ancient capitals buried beneath modern expansion reveal how often cities are rebuilt, renamed, and forgotten. Each new dynasty constructed its capital atop the ruins of the previous one. Over time, older cities were sealed beneath layers of construction. Written records survived, but physical evidence was buried. Without excavation, these cities would remain myths. Progress does not erase the past. It covers it. What makes these lost cities especially unsettling is how advanced many of them were. Organized street systems, drainage networks, astronomical alignments, and engineering techniques appear again and again. These were not primitive societies stumbling through history. They were intelligent, adaptive, and innovative. Their disappearance was not inevitable. It was circumstantial. And if that challenges what you were taught, stay with the story. Modern archaeology now faces a painful reality. Technology allows us to see lost cities, but not always to save them. Urban growth, mining, farming, and climate change threaten sites faster than they can be studied. Many cities are documented digitally and then reburied. Their secrets recorded but never fully understood. Knowledge is preserved, but experience is lost. Lost cities force us to confront uncomfortable truths about our own civilization. We like to believe we are different, more stable, more advanced. But history suggests otherwise. Civilizations rise when conditions allow and fall when conditions change. Infrastructure alone does not guarantee survival. Memory alone does not protect legacy. If entire worlds could vanish before, they can vanish again. Perhaps the most haunting thought is this. The ground beneath us is layered with forgotten lives. Beneath our homes, our roads, our cities lie streets once walked by people who believed their world would last forever. They planned futures, raised families, built monuments. And yet, they were forgotten. Lost cities remind us that history is not a straight line of progress. It is a cycle of creation, collapse, and rediscovery. Each excavation is not just a discovery of stone and soil, but a reminder of how fragile human achievement truly is. And if this third part has deepened your understanding of how easily civilizations can disappear, keep watching and stay subscribed. because part 4 will uncover cities lost in the most unexpected places of all, and the discoveries only become more unsettling from here. By now, one thing should feel impossible to ignore. Lost cities are not hidden only in remote jungles or distant deserts. Some of the most astonishing discoveries were made in places where no one expected anything ancient to survive at all. Stay with this, because what comes next reveals cities hidden in plain sight, and if uncovering forgotten worlds still has your attention, keep watching closely. In Europe, entire ancient cities have been discovered directly beneath modern urban centers. Construction projects for subways, tunnels, and foundations routinely uncover streets, homes, marketplaces, and temples from civilizations long erased from memory. In many cases, these cities were never truly destroyed. They were simply built over. Each generation added a new layer, sealing the old world beneath stone, brick, and concrete. If the idea of walking above forgotten cities fascinates you, stay right here, in Rome. Discoveries continue to reveal just how deep history runs. Beneath modern neighborhoods lie Roman forums, theaters, bathhouses, and even older settlements. Excavations often stop once remains are documented, and the city continues above them. Life moves on, unaware of the streets buried below. Rome is not a single city, but a stack of civilizations compressed into one place. And if that thought changes how you see modern cities, keep watching. London tells a similar story. Beneath its streets lie Roman Londinium, medieval neighborhoods, plague-era burial grounds, and forgotten infrastructure. Ancient roads still guide modern traffic. Walls once built for defense now support office buildings. Entire sections of history survive only because they were never fully uncovered. The past remains hidden because the present cannot stop. And if this hidden layering pulls you deeper, stay with the story. In Asia, rapidly expanding cities are revealing lost capitals buried beneath development. In China, subway construction has uncovered palaces, city walls, and tombs thousands of years old. These were once centers of power, culture, and innovation. Some were destroyed by war. Others were abandoned and rebuilt elsewhere. Their remains stayed underground, untouched, until modern machinery exposed them again. Progress uncovers history, even as it threatens to erase it. Japan's ancient capitals offer another haunting example. Cities once destroyed by fire, earthquake, or political change were abandoned and rebuilt nearby. Over centuries, the old cities vanished beneath sediment and development. Today, archaeologists find entire neighborhoods preserved below modern infrastructure. These discoveries reveal how quickly a city can vanish from memory while remaining physically intact. In the Middle East, urban centers built on ancient foundations hide cities stretching back thousands of years. In places like Jerusalem, every excavation uncovers layers from different eras. Digging too deep risks destroying what lies above. As a result, many ancient cities remain only partially explored. History is preserved not by excavation, but by restraint. And if this tension between past and present fascinates you, keep watching. One of the most surprising locations for lost cities is underwater. Coastal settlements across the world now lie beneath the sea due to ancient climate shifts and rising water levels. Entire cities were flooded slowly, giving populations time to leave, but not to preserve their homes. Underwater archaeology has revealed streets, harbors, and buildings preserved in silence for thousands of years. These cities did not fall violently. They slipped beneath the waves, unnoticed by history. In Southeast Asia, ancient port cities were discovered submerged along coastlines once bustling with trade. These cities connected continents, exchanging goods, ideas, and technology. When sea levels rose or trade routes shifted, they were abandoned. Without excavation, they remained invisible. Water preserved what time erased. And if drowned cities spark your curiosity, stay right here. Across the Americas, ancient cities were found buried beneath farmland and modern towns. In many cases, farmers unknowingly plowed over ancient streets and foundations for generations. Only when aerial imaging revealed geometric patterns did archaeologists realize entire urban centers lay below. These cities were not destroyed by conquest alone. Many were abandoned due to environmental stress or resource depletion. Civilization didn't collapse, it relocated. What connects all these discoveries is how ordinary their disappearance was. Cities didn't always end with fire, war, or legend. Sometimes they were simply left behind. When populations moved, memory faded. Without written records, cities became invisible. Nature covered them. New societies moved in. History forgot. Modern technology has become the great revealer. LiDAR, satellites, and digital mapping now expose what the human eye cannot see. Entire cities appear as glowing outlines beneath forests, deserts, and modern streets. For the first time, archaeologists can see history at scale. But seeing is not the same as saving. Many sites are documented digitally and then left buried forever. These discoveries raise unsettling questions about our own time. We build cities believing they are permanent. We assume progress protects us. But history suggests otherwise. Cities survive only as long as conditions allow. Climate, resources, stability, and cooperation determine longevity. When those fail, even the greatest cities fade. Lost cities also challenge how we measure success. Some civilizations thrive for centuries, then vanish without leaving monuments or texts. Others left massive structures but disappeared quickly. Survival does not depend on size or power alone. It depends on adaptability. And if ancient cities struggle with this, so might we. Perhaps the most haunting realization is how close these lost cities are to us. Beneath sidewalks, beneath homes, beneath highways, entire lives unfolded where we now stand. People laughed, worked, believed, and hoped, never imagining they would be forgotten. Their cities didn't disappear because they were unimportant. They disappeared because time moved on. Lost cities are not warnings written in stone. They are quiet reminders buried in soil. They tell us that history is fragile, memory is selective, and civilization is temporary. What we uncover today may be all that remains tomorrow. And if this fourth part has made you question how permanent our world really is, keep watching and stay subscribed, because part 5 will bring this journey full circle and reveal the most unsettling truth of all about lost cities and our own place among them. If you stayed this far, then one final truth needs to be faced. Lost cities are not just stories of the past. They are mirrors. They reflect something deeply uncomfortable about civilization itself. Stay with this till the end, because what these cities ultimately reveal is not only how others disappeared, but how easily any society can be forgotten, and if this journey has changed the way you see history. Keep watching closely. Across every continent, one pattern repeats again and again. Cities rise where resources are plentiful. Populations grow. Technology advances. Confidence builds. People begin to believe their world is stable, permanent, unshakable. And then conditions change. Rivers dry. Climates shift. Trade routes move. Political systems fracture. What once felt eternal becomes fragile. This is not speculation. It is written beneath the ground in thousands of lost cities. In some cases, cities vanished so completely that even their names were erased. No legend survived. No text remained. Archaeologists uncover them only by accident. Faint outlines beneath soil, forests, or modern construction. Entire civilizations existed, thrived, and ended without leaving a clear historical voice behind. Their absence from records does not mean they were insignificant. It means history is selective and memory is fragile. And if that realization keeps you thinking, stay with this moment. One of the most unsettling discoveries about lost cities is how ordinary their final days often were. No epic battles, no dramatic collapse, just slow abandonment. Families moved away, buildings decayed, streets filled with debris, vegetation crept in. Within a few generations, the city became unrecognizable. Within a few centuries, it became invisible. Time did what violence did not. And if this quiet ending feels more disturbing than destruction, you're not alone. Archaeologists now understand that many civilizations were far more interconnected than once believed. Trade networks linked cities across vast distances. Ideas, technologies, and cultures flowed freely. When one city fell, others felt the impact. Collapse was rarely isolated. It spread like a slow chain reaction. Lost cities are not isolated failures. They are symptoms of larger systems breaking down. And if systems matter more than monuments, keep watching. What makes these discoveries even more powerful is how often they contradict long-held beliefs. Cities once dismissed as myths turn out to be real. Regions thought uninhabitable were once densely populated. Societies assumed primitive reveal sophisticated planning, engineering, and knowledge. Each lost city uncovered forces historians to rewrite what they thought they knew. The past is not settled. It is still being uncovered. Modern technology has given humanity a strange advantage. For the first time, we can see patterns across thousands of years. We can compare civilizations separated by oceans and eras. And what we see is unsettlingly consistent. Adaptability determines survival. Rigidity invites collapse. Cities that failed to respond to environmental or social change vanished. Those that adapted lasted longer, but none lasted forever. And if that thought feels heavy, stay with it. Perhaps the most haunting realization is how similar ancient cities were to our own. They struggled with resource management. They faced climate challenges. They experienced inequality, political tension, and overexpansion. Their people believed in progress. They trusted systems. They planned for the future. And yet they disappeared. Lost cities remind us that advancement does not equal immunity. What remains today are fragments, foundations beneath fields, walls beneath cities, streets beneath oceans. These fragments are not just archaeological curiosities. They are warnings written in stone and soil. They tell us that civilization is not guaranteed. It must be maintained, adapted, and protected. And even then, nothing is permanent. There is something deeply humbling about standing above a lost city, knowing that thousands of lives unfolded beneath your feet. People loved, argued, built, dreamed. They believed their world mattered. They were right. It did matter. But history moved on. Memory faded. Their city became a layer beneath another world, just as ours may one day become a layer beneath someone else's. Lost cities also reveal the limits of written history. What survives on paper is only a fraction of what existed. Most human experience leaves no text behind. Archaeology fills those gaps. It gives voice to the silent. Every discovery is a reminder that history is incomplete, biased, and fragile. And if uncovering hidden truths matters to you, keep watching. The greatest irony is this. Humanity is obsessed with the future, yet surrounded by forgotten pasts. We search distant planets for signs of life, while standing on layers of lost civilizations. We imagine collapse as dramatic, but history shows it is often quiet. Cities don't always fall. Sometimes they are simply left behind. As this journey through lost cities comes to an end, one final thought remains. Civilization is not a destination. It is a process. It must be renewed constantly. The cities we uncover today were once achievements. Their disappearance does not diminish them. It reminds us that existence itself is temporary. Lost cities are not failures. They are chapters, and every chapter ends. If this series has changed the way you see ancient history, cities, or even the ground beneath your feet, stay curious. Keep watching and subscribe for more hidden histories, because the past is never as distant as it seems, and the stories buried beneath us are far from finished.